What's happening, guys? It's your buddy Griz, and Monday has come again, which means it's time for another episode of Kid Up. And this week I get to do my first ever sniper rifle review. Oh boy. So if you're not familiar, this is my weekly Battlefield series where you guys get to suggest loadouts you would like to see me use. Then I go out and get some gameplay with that loadout and do a little review on it. So leave a comment in the description below of what you'd like to see me use for next week. You guys should know how this works by now. So, like I said, this is the first sniper rifle review in the series, and I have to tell you guys right off the bat, I am not the best sniper. What you're gonna see is a collection of the better moments of a few hours of playing, because it seems like at times I'm right on the money with almost every shot, and then other times I just can't hit anything if my life depended on it. So I'm definitely still learning when it comes to being consistent as a sniper, so please, cut me some slack, would ya? Anyway, let's get right into the review. This week's loadout comes to us from a relatively new member of the group, so I thought I'd do his loadout and say welcome to Chronicle Gaming. And he suggests the GOL Magnum or the M40A5. So I decided, since Second Assault recently launched and I just unlocked it, let's do the GOL Magnum. For attachments, I'll be using the 8x scope, a laser sight, and the straight pull bolt. For my secondary, I'll be using the Compact 45 with a mini RDS, laser sight, and I decided to go with the suppressor. In a different comment, he finishes the loadout by including the C4 and motion sensors, or Pokeballs as I like to call them, for my gadgets. Alright, so let's take a look at the GOL Magnum's statistics, courtesy of Simfic.com. Right away, I want to point out what is probably the best thing about this weapon, and that is its rate of fire at 63 rounds per minute. And that's going to tie it with the Scout Elite for the fastest firing bolt-action sniper rifle in the game. The biggest downfall of the GOL Magnum, however, really works against its best statistic. This weapon's magazine size is only 5 bullets, with, of course, 1 in the chamber for 6 total shots. So if you got a couple enemies in a group that you're about to take on, you really have to make sure you are making those shots count, because you're about to let them all know where you are. Maximum damage is 100, meaning it will kill in one shot to the chest at close range. And what's even better is the minimum damage of 59. That means that this rifle will kill in one shot at any range if you get the headshot. Reload times are 4.1 seconds when empty and 2.6 seconds with a round still in the chamber, so ideally you want to reload before you are completely out of bullets in the magazine. You will save yourself a second and a half of vulnerability, so to speak. Another thing to watch out for on the GOL Magnum is the fact that it does have a lower bullet velocity at 560 meters per second. While this isn't the slowest bullet velocity of the sniper rifles, it definitely does affect how you're going to have to aim if you want to land those headshots. In the beginning, I was missing a lot of headshots that I thought were dead on. You know, I had the crosshair right on his forehead and somehow still ended up with a body shot. That is because of this lower bullet velocity. The GOL Magnum and the M40A5 are sort of close in this aspect, so if you are already an expert at getting headshots with the M40A5, then you'll probably find the transition to the GOL Magnum pretty easy, I think. What it all boils down to is that at medium range, if you want those headshots, try to aim a little bit higher. And I'm talking mere millimeters here above the guy's head. It may not seem like much, but trust me, it's going to be the difference between headshots and body shots this time. At long range, you really got to adjust for this by aiming even higher, or you can zero your scope. And if you don't know what I mean by that, just sit tight, because I'm going to make a video on zeroing your scope soon, and it'll explain everything. Moving on to the rest of the kit though, the Compact 45 definitely deserves to be talked about a little bit. It's just such a great pistol all around. It and the M1911 share the highest damage among the regular pistols at 34. Of course the 44 and the Rex beat that, but as far as the non-revolvers go, it does have the highest damage. And it has a much higher clip size than the M1911 at 11 rounds total, so it is the clear choice between the two, and dare I say, best overall pistol in the game statistically. In any case, it is a wonderful sidearm and performs really well with the suppressor on there too. As far as the C4, obviously a great choice. I don't think I ever pick up the recon kit without taking some C4 with me, because that kind of was my biggest pet peeve in Battlefield 3, was the recons having absolutely no defense against vehicles. The Pokeballs are great if you remember to use them. That's the big thing here, is you just have to remember to chuck one out when you're coming up on an area you think may have enemies in it. It's just going to even the playing field here if you can get the drop on them, on their positions before you take them on as a bolt action wielding bush Wookiee. I'm really disappointed there's no ghillie suits in Battlefield 4. Come on, DICE, shit! Give me back my Chewbacca costume, damn it. Alright, so I hear a lot of people are having trouble unlocking the GOL Magnum, so before we end this, I'm going to explain to you guys how I did it. The requirements are that you need 1 sniper rifle ribbon and 5 kills either from the big tower on Caspian Border or the big tower on Firestorm. Important! Don't confuse the big tower on Caspian with the towers that are on the big wall. They definitely do not count. I ended up wasting like an hour sniping people from the wall towers before I realized, yeah, those don't count. So it's gotta be the big towers on each map, and I found it easiest to do it from the tower on Firestorm because the D-flag on Caspian is basically the hottest spot on the map for the entire match, making it somewhat difficult to get up there in the first place sometimes. Not to mention, the Levolution on Caspian Border is the destruction of the tower you need to get kills from, and I found the tower just never lasted any more than 7 or 8 minutes each round anyway. So Firestorm is definitely easier to get it in if you ask me, and all I did, guys, was climb up to the first landing on the tower, and I just hid from the snipers on the hill because you know they spend the entire game sitting back there with their 40x scopes looking for easy prey on that tower. Then it was just a matter of waiting until the enemy team tried to come to take the C flag from us, because the tower actually overlooks the entire C flag area. So I just basically sat up there waiting for them, and a couple of the kills came from enemies who were actually trying to get up on the tower, and yes, those count too. C4 kills would count as well. Basically any kill you get while physically standing on the tower counts. So it doesn't have to be just sniper rifle kills either. So that will just about do it for another episode of Kid Up, fellas. The GOL Magnum is pretty awesome and an excellent choice for the casual or intermediate sniper, I guess you could say. And actually, even the more hardcore snipers are gonna like this weapon, I think. It just has a lot of good things going for it in the rate of fire and damage departments. And yeah, if my opinion means anything at all, I think it's a better choice than the SRR-61, which seems like most people use a lot. Anyway, guys, don't forget to leave me your suggestion for next week's loadout down in the comments below. And if you want to leave the video some love, if you enjoyed it at all, that like button is always down there. Always much appreciated. And if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button and you can stay up to date on all the goodness to come. Once again, I'd like to thank you guys very much for watching, and thank you so much for all your support. My name is Griz. See ya.